Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another episode of Spiritual Juice Podcast. I'm your host, Yvette, and today we're talking about something really a little bit edgy, but I think it really needs to be said. On this podcast, we offer clarity and inspiration. And in this case, the clarity part is definitely where we're going with this, okay? So I've noticed something. So, as a light worker, and I'm kind of crazy today, and I have a feeling I'm going to say crazy quite a few times. But I have noticed that as a light worker, that people, and not all people, that's not true, but quite a few people, they have this misconception about light workers, healers, anybody that does light work, anybody that does healing work, okay? And that's a whole like another can of worms. That's a lot of people can go into that. Um, but certain people, they have an issue with paying for healing services or coaching services related to their healing journey. And it could be, different types of services, everything from Reiki to someone who teaches breath work to somatics to family constellations to tarot to the list goes on and on. But specifically, I've noticed as well, I want to add that includes coaching as well, because on the journey, we need to learn from others that have been there before us. And of course, every journey is different, right? But if you work with someone who's been there before, then quite often they can really help you a lot. And that's exactly what I did. Because sometimes that dark night of the soul or that awakening can be traumatic. It can be so scary and confusing. You think you're losing your mind and you can't really just talk to anybody about it because like, why would you? That they don't know what you're talking about. They think you're crazy. And so you have to find someone who listens, who understands, and can someone who could help get you to the next level, help get you through that dark night, or help like shortcut that difficult period so that you can get over the bridge and go further in your journey without having to stay stuck any longer than you need. Okay, so I said it. The cat's out of the bag. Why is it that certain people who are healing, some of them are on their path to a spiritual awakening and they want to heal, they know they have issues, but they do not feel like they should have to pay. And I had someone that I knew, I don't know them anymore because clearly we're not aligned. So they're from my past. And she saw me go through so much work and took so many leaps of faith to move forward, to get through stuff. I was doing things really different. I was betting on me. I was going through what I had to go through, which was not easy. And often people don't see that not easy part. They only see what they want to see. And often some people I've noticed, they even think that it's kind of, I don't know, cool or hip or trendy to even be on this healing journey, this spiritual awakening thing. They think it's like the next hot thing. And I see people talking about going to different places because they like the vibe of the whole spiritual new age community. Let's take for let's take an example, like one case in point. I knew a neighbor that had gone to Burning Man. And it's not to say that Burning Man is like a place where people go just to party and have a good time. I've never been. I've only read, heard, that kind of thing. People seem to really get on and they have it every year. Okay. And people want to go back. So this particular neighbor, she had a really great time. And for her, it was like a week long, like camping in the desert, drugs, music, free love. And I guess that it opened her eyes to a lot of things that she was interested in. Maybe she's a flower child or she's very bohemian and she liked that community, that sense of community. Okay. But the healing part, I didn't hear her talk about being there for anything like that. I just heard her talking about drugs, about meeting cute guys, a lot about the music and the vehicles and the presentations and all of that stuff, which sounds really cool. So at the end of the day, okay, so you can go to Burning Man, which is wonderful, and have a great time. And you're like scooting around the edge of real healing and you're learning about it. And you probably, no, not probably, you could definitely use like healing in more ways than one, but you can't get yourself to do it for real. Like maybe your perspective is that, I don't know, maybe she thinks that she will find out some stuff. And when the truth is exposed, oftentimes people they don't want to know. They don't want to know the truth. They don't want to do the work, if you ask me, because everybody's got work to do. And to be honest, healing is maybe it's a new concept for some people because we live in a world where it's not about healing, it's about putting a band-aid over the real problem and never really getting to the root of the problem. Again, let's talk about why people or certain people they feel like they shouldn't have to pay. And I've heard all kinds of things. For example, isn't that your gift? Isn't that like your God-given gift? It should be like free. You shouldn't have to charge people. And I'm laughing because I'm thinking, whoa, wait a second. I shouldn't have to charge people, so I should just pass it out like lollipops. But do you understand the value of healing? Do you understand the value of your life when your life evolves to the next timeline so that you can appear, that you can live, that you could feel a lot more like your authentic self and you can operate at a higher frequency and everything gets better and better? Or do you just think that nobody notices that, like you seem like an airhead or something? I don't know. And so you don't value yourself enough to invest in yourself, but you don't mind paying for that Tesla, or you don't mind like going on that vacation or having that dinner at one of your favorite spots. But when it comes to something that's lifelong, that's deep, that permeates not only through this lifetime, but many lifetimes, and not just for you, because let me remind you, when you heal, you are healing your bloodline. Okay? So think of it like this. Think of that energy that's stored in your cells, your DNA that you inherited when you were born. And we take on part of our mother's lineage, part of our father's lineage, and then we bring a lot of our own stuff in there, 30% of our own karma and our own past experiences. So that's a whole lot of like energy, right? So you inherited things that you don't know anything about because you didn't know these people that came before you. And so it's stored in your DNA. It's there. It's energy. And probably it'd be safe to say that you inherited a lot of stuff. So even though it wasn't you, but you still got it and you can still heal it. And when you're healing it for those who came before you who were not able to. And as a result, you heal them too. So back to pay for healing, light worker, starseed, earth angel, etc., healers, energy to help alchemize your dysfunction or your things that are holding you back and getting to the root of the problem. So You don't want to pay for that? So I did a little research, okay? Because I'll be honest with you, not everybody feels that way, but I did an experiment where I decided that because I've just come back from a period where I wasn't really as active with my clients. I said I was in a different lane just for a few minutes, not a few minutes, but like a few months. Okay. A few months. And so now I'm back like in action. I moved to a completely different continent for a while because I really felt like I needed a big reset and I needed to be in a space that was a lot better for my nervous system. And so coming here, I'm like, okay, I'm online. I really want to be able to offer all of my time to my clients and offer them what I do, my medicine, my healing, all of my energy virtually, okay? Because it works the same in the virtual space as it does in person. But I had a different concept because I'm learning, I'm evolving, I'm healing. And I had this thing around money, and that I recognized that I was healing my root because I wasn't really as worried about money as I once was, especially on my journey, because I spent so much time out there. I spent years in the jungle on the first part of my healing journey in different countries and being around other communities of like light workers. And many of us, we don't, our lives are different from where we came from. And so we either had to save a bunch of money up to be there for an extended period of time, or use our modalities, our gifts, our spiritual gifts as healers to supplement our lifestyle. Our healing services would supplement our bills, our rent, our food, and everything like that. Okay. And not depend on other resources. And so it can be quite scary to some people because you're like, oh my God, I can't do this. I need my latte in the morning, or I need to live in this sort of posh environment, and I can't do this like roughing it vibe. And to be honest, it's not always like that, but yes, I have been there. So now I'm at the space where I've noticed I'm like, I don't really worry about that sort of thing anymore because I've reached a certain level of my healing journey where I have been able to alchemize and some things that were holding me back. And that may have been one of them. So I thought I'd try this experiment where I decided that I was going to make an offer to some of my clients because I really wanted to see what the outcome would be. Now, many of these clients that I was offering it to, and I didn't offer it to everybody, but just a group. And many of them I had worked with before because they were my clients, but they had friends. And so I wanted to offer my services, not all of them, but a few of them, a few key ones for a limited time on a sliding scale. Because I like that vibe. I like that vibe, where it's takes away that whole element of this is the price. I wanted people to feel like, okay, you have a choice. You can pay anywhere between this and this. And if you feel like you want to pay more, then so be it. But I didn't want to be attached to a particular price, and just see what the universe brought back to me. Okay. And what I noticed is that, let me just say, I wasn't exactly happy, okay? I want to say what something else, but I'm not going to say it right now. But I was quite surprised because in offering them these services, it was an opportunity for me to see, but I was offering the same service as if they were paying full price, my regular price. And in some cases, I was offering even more. I was even more generous with my time, and I wanted to see the outcome because I feel like sometimes I love my work, I love what I do, and when I'm working with clients, I want to give them more than they expect or more than what I expect back from them. So kind of overgive in a way and hoping that they would really see the value because I get really disappointed like things like this happen in life where you go to see your dentist or your doctor and you're on time and you always have to wait, right? No, you always have to wait. And oftentimes, especially doctors, you wait for them, you're there on time, and then they see you for 10, 15 minutes. Okay. And you think, wow, I had to wait for you and I'm paying you. And you only spend a little bit of time, but you're probably going to get paid for the whole appointment. That's not okay. And then you're not even really like doing any healing. You're just like asking me a bunch of dumb questions, which in my case, I can be my own advocate, but I could have, I don't really, what do I need you for? Maybe I need you to write, I don't know. I just feel like it's such a waste of time sometimes with when you go into the doctor's office and they don't really get into the business of healing or the business of really caring about clients and spending that time with them to understand what's really going on. Like I always say, healing is not just the science of it, because I did research that as well. And I did see something about in terms of like people, certain people not wanting to pay, maybe they think that real healing, spiritual healing has not been scientifically proven. So they feel like it's a bit like, woo, hey, that it's not really real healing, but it's healing, but I shouldn't have to pay because, hey, you didn't go to school for it for 8 years and blah, blah. Here you are sitting over there and I'm here and you look like a normal person. So they don't really understand the validity. They don't understand the potency and the real value of it, if you ask me. But they still want it, right? They still want it. And so asking myself still again, getting back to that sliding scale, because I thought maybe I could implement this into my business. Maybe I could go on and do that sliding scale thing from now on and feel good. And maybe it will encourage more of my clients and help me get more clients who don't know me because of my perspective on payment for healing services. So again, I was disappointed because I found people with all that I gave and all of the time and all of the interest and everything that I took at heart. Like I really put my heart into my work, but they were clutch. They were really holding on to that money. Some of them, a few of them paid like the bare minimum, basically, and I really invested like a lot and I knew the results were amazing because I know what I do is like no other healer. Okay. I know that my magic, my potency is authentic. And the more that I heal, the more powerful my healing is. Okay. So my energy is whoa. And I can see that. But the clients, because of some sort of, I believe, they don't really understand what light work is and how deeply it can transform mental, emotional, physical, or spiritual blocks. They don't really get it, even though they say they are on their healing journey or they are awakening. And I get it, they'll get it later, and that kind of thing. And then probably I won't be around for them. But it's definitely, I have a choice in all of this because if they don't really see the value, then they're not my kind of client. I have a choice to not be available for them and only be available for the clients who are ready, who value what I do, okay, who are more than happy to pay, okay. And I give a lot of stuff away. Okay, let me just say that just because it's a big part of who I am. And if someone called me, and maybe they had been my client once, and they were asking me about something not necessarily related to one of my services, then I would definitely spend time with them and give them my best. Okay, so let me just say this. Maybe could it be because I did some more research on this topic, and I did a search in Chat GPT, and I put in, why is it that certain people don't want to pay for light work or healing services? And it came up with something like this. It says that they don't prioritize their expenses. It's like they feel like maybe investing in themselves, like they're not worthy. Like they'd rather do other things. Like they're not worth it, which is really sad. But okay, okay, I hear that. Okay. And I think that, and it said something else, okay, that surprised me. Chat GPT said sometimes if a light worker undercharges, it means that they doubt their own work or fears asking for money. It shows up in how people respond. Interesting. Now, I don't think that I undercharge, but because it was an experiment, and I really truly believed in it because I have experienced a total like sliding scale in other areas and the light worker community. Like, for example, like if there's like an event, let's say someone is like hosting a Reiki or sound healing circle at the beach at sunset, and they'll say something like donation based. Instead of paying like a certain amount, just pay what you can. Okay. And most people, because they're part of the community, they will pay what the average light worker or healer or what have you will pay. And some people may not have at that time. They still want to benefit. And we know that everything is not just about money, right? And it's about energy. Whatever you give, that's what you get back. And it may not be in the form of cash, money, but it comes back to you. So that's one of the benefits. But I always felt if you trust that people will recognize the value and you're confident that they will feel that kind of energy, there will be a part of it. But I'm learning that not necessarily so, because not everybody is awakened to the frequency, that maybe they're just not ready. They're not awakened enough to a certain frequency where they understand the value of what you are offering and how much that it will change their lives, even though they receive amazing results. And we live in a world of like quick fixes, and light work is deep and it's layered. And because it's not always immediate, let's say, for example, I did a distance Reiki session recently, and I'm in a different part of the world. And though it doesn't matter, it doesn't limit the benefit is the same as if the person was right here next to me. And I could feel what was happening. The body was speaking to me as I was like moving that energy and imparting the light force energy to clear up things and unblock things. And I have certain abilities where I will even know like where this energy came from, what happened. And so the body is an amazing machine, but we just have to be attuned to what the body is saying because it hears everything. And once you're at a certain frequency, you can hear it as well. So I have this ability to be able to hear what the body is communicating. Let's say, for example, let me put it this way, like the body's always trying to communicate. Let's say for the average person, something you've got this chronic pain. It's been going on for a while now. The body's trying to tell you. It can't really, doesn't have the vocabulary, but by you feeling that pain, you know that something's wrong. So It's up to you or your caretakers or healthcare providers or healers to go in there and see what it is that we can do. But it's letting you know. And based on the type of pain and the level of pain, it's letting you know as to what level of emergency this is. So let's say, for example, you got some inflammation going on in your joints, and it happens every now and then. You're feeling this inflammation. It's letting you know that probably when you are doing certain things in your daily life, let's say maybe you're eating certain things that is causing the inflammation, like maybe you shouldn't eat that. Maybe you should cut that out of your diet. Or let's say maybe when you, I don't know, are very upset. Let's say when you are triggered, you're angry, and your body responds in maybe you get a headache, or maybe your back starts to hurt, or what have you. It's letting you know that your anger is causing you your back, your shoulders, your headache, that pressure, that energy is not healthy. And so that might read as a way to fix that is to find a way where why, number one, why are you being triggered? Why is your anger triggered? Because really, when you feel that pain, that is the output. That is happening as the result of something deeper. So we get to, as a healer, we get to the root of it. We don't just give you a pill. We say, let's get, nip it in the bud. Okay, it's much deeper. The body's just saying that I can't do this anymore. I'm tired of this. And I'm going to scream as loud as I have to until I break you, until it really is like, it's like warning you, like it's getting late. So let's do something about it. And so, wouldn't it make sense for someone who, like myself, other healers, what have you, will say that in this case, working from the physical, the mental, the spiritual, the psychological, we work with everything as opposed to the science or a medical doctor, which only deals with the physical for the most part. Okay. So healing is all those different layers, but someone does not want to pay for that. I can say this that maybe by the time most people really get their minds around what the value of healing does, how it improves their quality of life, and how it makes not only them, but people around them much happier, then maybe they will understand that they could never pay enough. They could never pay enough for the healing. And so, with that said, it's like us healers, we have to live too. But also, they don't understand, I think, certain these people I'm speaking about, that we have to prepare our bodies, our minds, our spirit in order to even approach before we even get started with you. I can't just wake up like cold and, okay, let me get dressed and run on over there, or let's get to it. No, I have to prepare myself. And sometimes it takes days, sometimes it takes an hour, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but I can't just go into it cold. I probably could, but I don't want to approach it like that. I think that I need to be on point every time. I need to respect my spirit team. I need to respect what I do. I need to respect my clients to give them the best that I have to offer. Okay. Because I know what I do is incredible. And I don't want to ever feel like I'm playing with it. Oh, I don't have to do that. I'm good. No, it's not to be played with. It is a gift. Okay. So keeping yourself prepared, respecting what you do, also having a lifestyle that is high vibrational. So, in order to house, in order to receive, in order to facilitate, all of this healing, it requires that we have a certain mindset or certain body frequency so that we are attuned to a higher level because we are connecting. Okay, let me speak for myself. I am connecting with the divine. I am connecting with the 5D. I am connecting and they are guiding me often. Okay, protecting and speaking to me because of course we are spiritual beings. And so I'm working with spirit and it is guiding me, it's guiding my hands, it's guiding my intuition, it's doing all these things. And I must be grounded enough to know that no, this is not about me. It's not my ego. I'm not listening to the ego. Okay. I am connected to the most high. So so it's a lot. It's a lot. You never want to go in there and your vibration is like on a low side because you'd be operating not from your highest self. And it doesn't serve anyone. Okay, so I've said some things, and let me know if you are a healer or starseed light worker, what have you. It doesn't matter what kind of modality, what type of healing modality that you do. And I know personally, I can say that because even though I am a healer, I'm a light worker, I'm a seer, I'm a lot of things, I'm a coach, but I still go for healing. I still tap into other people like me to their medicine, to receive medicine from them so that I can be constantly operating at peak. It's a lifestyle. It's not just when things are not going okay. It's like something that you do every day. And the more healing modalities, the more healing gifts that you have, you constantly are using them on yourself as well. So you don't have to make that call. You know what to do to get you aligned, which is a wonderful thing. And I recommend that everybody, and I talk to all of my clients about learning a healing modality. Doesn't mean that you have to become a practitioner or charge people or have clients. It just means that you know how to do this and you use it when you need it. Okay. It's just like having a certain skill as opposed to just like having all of these college degrees, but you have a life skill, whether it's plumbing or, how to fix cars or whatever. It's like something that you can use every day in your everyday life without having to call. Okay. So back to that whole money thing. With that said, what I've learned is that people do have limiting beliefs and feeling that healing energy healers should not charge or they don't feel like they should have to pay or at least pay what it's worth. Okay. They're a little bit skeptical sometimes because they believe and they have been misinformed because many healing modalities are scientifically proven. Okay. But I always believe that in anything, especially when it relates to healing, that it should be quantified by what I call the three proofs. Okay. So that's theoretical proof. Number one, okay, it's been researched, it's been studied again and again, okay, by many different sources. Also, it's been scientifically proven. And let me remind you that we live in a society where the science environment, they don't always want to put it out there because for fear that it may interfere with their bottom line. So let's say, for example, the fact that certain things are now legal, maybe some sort of like plants, let's say marijuana, for example. Now, for a very long time, marijuana was illegal. Now, many people feel that, and it's been proven that marijuana, cannabis, has the ability to help and alleviate like so many different ailments. Okay. I can't speak on that because I don't use it, but I will say that for many years it's been proven. Okay. So now it's legal. Okay. But for a long time, the medical profession, they were not allowing it. People were going to prison for but hey, now it's all good. But the fact that there's so much money in it and it can be taxed, that the medical profession is, oh, hey, okay, let's get in on that too. So now in many places it is legal. Some places not so much, but definitely spreading very fast to be on the up and legal in a lot of places around the world. Okay, so I think it's just a matter of time, but I did not mention the most important proof and the most profound, in my opinion, and that is actual proof. Actual proof, meaning that I experienced it, I saw it with my own eyes. I am living it in real time. I am proof because of how it changed me. It's transformational. So actual proof is by far the most important and the most profound proof as far as what I choose to believe in terms of proving that certain healing modalities by certain people work. Because let me just say this, that there might be a particular healing modality that's performed by one person that might be okay, but when it's performed by someone different, it might be profound and life changing. So it's just a matter of who is performing because we are energetically, we are not all the same. Let's say, getting back to Reiki, for example. Okay, I happen to be a Reiki master. So that means that there are different levels to Reiki. And in order to go to the next level, you not only study and practice, but also you are attuned to a certain frequency because you have to be able to receive the next level of Reiki energy. So it changes your body as well because your body must operate at a higher frequency. So there's 3 or 4 levels. So imagine being a Reiki master. It's almost, in my opinion, I like to say, to simplify it, it's like we can give to every layer, like level below us, but we cannot receive from them because the energy that they are giving is not as powerful, for lack of a better term. Okay. It's not quite at the same level. So understanding that, okay, I have that modality, but then I have other things as well. And so the way that I infuse the Reiki energy exactly as I've been trained to do, but then there's another layer. I am an intuitive Reiki master. So as I mentioned earlier, I can pinpoint in your body what's happening. It's like the body's talking to me. And I can see sometimes where this happens. It could be another lifetime, even. But in addition to that, I even have answers as to how you, as an individual, what you can do in your daily life to help remedy this as well. So you see how that it could be different because we're just at different places or different levels, our journey, and we all are unique. And the more authentic we become, where we're casting off that old lesser self and we start to ascend to a higher frequency, a more authentic space, then it's like all this new stuff comes out that you didn't even know you had. Like for me, like after taking that break several months and all that healing that I did, even more than before, it's like when I am working now with my medicine, and I'm working with a client, it's like it surprises me because I can see and feel that, whoa, this is like next level. This is some new stuff. It's like, wow, it's even more and more. It's like I'm even more talented and more. It's like the more I heal, the stronger I get, the more potent my medicine is. Okay. So, anyway, so when people say that they give you the business, the funk about, but yet they have money for everything else in the future, my answer is I'm prepared to walk away because I'm not going to give you my energy because you are paying for my energy, the energy that I have cultivated, the energy that's no other. So gladly have them walk away. I'm sending a clear message to the universe that I am not to be played with, and I deserve to be paid my worth. And many people will hear that, they will feel that, and your reputation speaks for itself. But being confident in your own abilities, no matter what people say, if you feel you are worth this and you have really thought about it, really felt about, and you know what it has taken to become you, then by all means, stick to your guns. Do not budge. And I totally feel that way. So moving forward, I'm like, nope, Even though I might do things a little bit differently, but I'm like, this is what is required from you moving forward, and I'm not gonna budge because I think I needed to have that experience where I was experimenting to see. And I love beautiful souls. I love people. I love healing. I love growing and learning, but also I love getting paid what I'm worth. Okay. So even if the person doesn't understand the value or doesn't, they give you a lot of pushback or whatever. Oh, let's keep living. Okay, go to the next person. And yeah, just stand your ground. So I know I've been like really like adamant about this and I'm very passionate about it because it's fresh and I'm learning just like everybody else on this crazy journey. It's a learning curve and the things that you used to do that applied for other things, they don't really apply when you become the best version of yourself, when you are healing, when you're recognizing your growth and your value, you're loving yourself more. You say, whoa, I don't care. I will not compromise myself. I will not budge because I know how I add value. And I know that I give you more than what you expect. So, with that said, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Spiritual Juice Podcast. And if you really appreciated this episode, I want you to don't forget to like it, leave a comment, share it with someone who really might have some good feedback or it might resonate with. Who knows? I'm looking forward to see you on another episode of Spiritual Juice and enjoy the rest of your day or evening.